Hi everybody. The last video we have seen the reaction among 2-tetralone, ammonium acetate and benzaldehyde. The same reaction was extended here to produce the fluorescent molecules. That is, in the last video itself I told you that these phenanthrene derivatives are fluorescent molecules. So when you use the lone pair on nitrogen, it becomes fluorescent. So now what we are doing is we are using the same reaction, that is the 2-tetralone, benzaldehyde, substituted benzaldehyde, ammonium acetate and ethanol as the solvent. We are heating for 24 hours, then keeping it for 24 hours. So we are getting this product. So this is nothing but the phenanthridine which we have seen in the last video. Now you will get this substitution, whatever substitution you are taking in the benzaldehyde. So now and again, so actually we wanted to synthesize donor acceptor molecule, that is one portion of the molecule will function as the donor and other portion will function as the acceptor, and this cyano and nitro are known to be electron withdrawing groups. So this is electron withdrawing acceptor and donor. So now we will see, that is we have prepared 3, 4, 5A, 5D, 6A, 6D. So the thing is, we have prepared a molecule without this benzene ring, then with benzene ring alone, then we went for substitution in the benzene rings. So substitution, when I say, we went for 4 substitutions, that is O-methyl, NN dimethyl, NN diethyl and nitro. So out of this, nitro is the withdrawing group, that is acceptor group. Next, when we are seeing, so as I told you, this is the molecule we prepared from formaldehyde. So instead of benzaldehyde, if you use formaldehyde, here you will not get any substitution. But when you use benzaldehyde, here you will get the substitution. Now when this benzaldehyde is having any substitution, then you will get the phenyl ring with the substitution here. Then we prepared this cyano substituted, that is here we have taken bromotetralone. So here you will have bromine. So this bromotetralone, then this bromotetralone, when it is subjected to the same type of reaction, here there is only one difference. Instead of ammonium acetate, we used copper cyanide. So here we have to reflex, and after reflexing you have to keep it for 24 hours. Other things are same, and the purification is done using a column chromatography. Next, we prepared the substitution. So substitution, these are the substitutions we used, that is, as I already told you, O-methoxy, NN dimethyl, NN diethyl and nitro. So here nitro is the electron withdrawing group. Similarly here cyanide is the electron withdrawing group, that is nitrile is the electron withdrawing group. Then we took the absorption and fluorescence spectra. So we will see it in detail, and before that we have recorded the spectra of 5B, 5C, 6B and 6C in different solvents, that is we studied solvatochromism for these four molecules. Why these 4 molecules? We have chosen the molecules in such a way, that is 5B and 5C, NN dimethyl, NN diethyl, and with 5 and 6, that is without this cyano group and with this cyano group. So here you do not have cyano group, here we have cyano group. So these 4 molecules we studied, and these 4 molecules, when you see the solvatochromism effect, the hexane, that is the less polar solvent, is having absorption here, that is around 430, emission around 430. When we are moving to dimethyl sulfide, it is getting redshifted. It is getting redshifted, and this is the observation we made. Next, when we are going to absorption and emission spectra, so here we have, this is compound 3, that is without any substitution, we are getting peaks, prominent peaks 294 and 322. Then we are getting an emission spectra at 358, and Stokes shift value is this one, and this is the quantum yield, and then we went for the lifetime. So now next is we went for the benzaldehyde substituted compound. So there we are getting 291 and 308, that is slightly redshifted. Here also it is very slightly redshifted, and Stokes shift value is 4690 centimeter inverse, and quantum yield is very less, and this is T off is 1.39 nanoseconds. So this is the T off in various solvents, that is fluorescence lifetime decay profile for the compounds 5B, 5C, 6B, 6C measured in solvents of variable polarities. That is, we have taken in variable polarities only these 4 compounds, other things we have just measured the lifetime. So when we are going to 5A, that is 5A is benzene ring with O-methyl at the para position. So we are getting the prominent peaks at 293, 318, and it is definitely redshifted, that is the shift is appreciable, that is 360 with normal benzaldehyde, it has gone to 417. Of course, Stokes shift value is also increased 7110 centimeter inverse, and so when we see the benzaldehyde, the quantum yield is very less, that is 0.001. When it is having a substitution like O-methyl, then it is having slightly increased one, but increase is not that much. Then when we go to the lifetime, it is having a lifetime of 1.44 nanoseconds. So next is 5B. So 5B is NN dimethyl. So here we are having 292, 342. So here there is a redshift here itself. So it is here also redshifted, that is emission is also redshifted. We are getting a peak at 463 nanometer, and Stokes shift is 7560 centimeter inverse, and our quantum yield is increased enormously 0.182, and the half-life lifetime is 1.19. Then we went to 5C. So 5C is NN diethyl benzaldehyde, para-benzaldehyde, that is in the para position you have NN diethyl. So here again it is redshifted, and here almost it is same, there is no shift, there is no difference in the emission spectra of NN dimethyl and NN diethyl, and NN diethyl, in case of NN diethyl we are getting a Stokes shift of 6180 centimeter inverse, but the quantum yield is again it is almost doubled, and lifetime is reduced, and when we go to 5D, again it is 274, 344. So it is enormously redshifted 561. 5D is again, as I told you, it is a nitro derivative. So in case of 5D, we have phenandridine, to the phenandridine ring phenyl ring is there, then phenyl ring nitro group is attached. So the phenandridine portion is working as the donor, and the phenyl nitro group attached to the phenyl ring is working as the acceptor. So it is redshifted considerably to 561 nanometers, and Stokes shift is enormously increased, that is almost doubled to 11,130, and the quantum yield is reduced. Naturally, if nitro group is there, it will be reduced, and lifetime is increased. Then 6A. 6A is we are having 2 cyano groups, and this is 2 cyano group and 1 methoxy group in the phenyl ring. So when we are having this, there is a almost it is same slight a shift from the previous one, but when we go to the emission, there is a blue shift instead of red shift. There is a blue shift when compared with nitro, but when compared with the phenyl ring, 360 has become 432. There is a red shift, and Stokes shift value is also increased 7220, and quantum yield is 0.036, almost equivalent to that nitro compound, and this one we could not measure. And when you go to 6B, that is NN dimethyl, here again there is a slight difference, but when you go to the emission spectra is relatively shifted red shift, that is you are having 507, and this is also increased, that is Stokes shift. So Stokes shift has become 9350, and quantum yield is 0.191, and you have 3.56 as the lifetime of the fluorescence. So next is 6C. So 6C is NN diethyl again. So there is a considerable shift, here also there is a considerable shift. So when you see this 6C, that is NN diethyl, we have 525 nanometer as the emission maxima, and Stokes shift value is 8730, and quantum yield is 0.339, and that is lifetime of fluorescence is 3.77 nanoseconds. And when you go to 6D, again nitro substitution and cyanide substitution. So we can call it as a ADA, that is acceptor, donor, acceptor. So it is having a emission of 518, and next we have Stokes shift. So Stokes shift is also increased considerably, and the quantum yield is reduced, that is as usual nitro group it is getting reduced, and your lifetime is 1.11. So now when you see this, the nitro compound, that is this nitro compound 5D and 6D, they are having 561 nanometer and 518 nanometer of emission, and 11,000 and 960, that is these are the two highest value of Stokes shift, and this is the condition quantum yield were measured, this is the decay profile, and when you have this is radiation and radiative decay and non-radiative decay. Next, when we go to this, so how this is happening? So now we have seen, that is your without any substitution it is 355, with phenyl ring there is a slight increase. After that, when you are having electron withdrawing or electron donating substituents in the ring, it is having red shift when compared to unsubstituted compound, irrespective of whether electron donating group or electron withdrawing group is there. Next, when we are going to mechanism, so when we go to the mechanism, this is the mechanism, that is the normal quinonoid and benzenoid structure. So the center one is the benzenoid structure, and this one is the quinonoid structure. So this is acceptor pi donor. So this is acting as the donor, and this is acting as the acceptor, this is the pi system. So now it is becoming quinonoid. Here it is benzenoid, and here it is becoming quinonoid, and other thing is here also it is becoming quinonoid. So at a particular time of point of time, you will have this as the quinonoid structure or this as the quinonoid structure. So next we went to the application of this compound. So what is the application we can have? So normally this type of fluorescence material are used in the as a intercalating agent in the DNA identification. So we did the DNA identification with dsDNA, DNA ladder with linear range of dsDNA product and bacterial DNA genomic product and PCR product. So DNA ladder with linear range of dsDNA product, bacterial genomic DNA, PCR product. With these three we did the intercalating studies. So it is intercalating very well. So now they are using ethidium bromide. So it is capable of competing with that ethidium bromide. So this can be used as a marker in cancer cell studies, but we have to go deep into that to know how much it can be useful. So now conclusion. So we have developed tetrahydrodibenzophenanthridines with fashionable useful functionality and exceptional fluorescence properties. That is the major advantage of this is we can tune the fluorescence property by changing the substitution. That is, we can change the substitution either in the phenyl ring or in the beta tretinoin. In both the cases the fluorescence properties are shifted and we are getting the red shift, and electronic properties of phenanthridine were significantly altered in a desired way by introducing suitable substituents. The combinations of electron donating and withdrawing groups as well as two different electron withdrawing groups were also found to induce the intramolecular charge transfer interactions, however to a different extent. That is why we are getting a red shift and blue shift. So here we are getting red shift, and this is due to the ICT, that is intramolecular charge transfer. The intercalating efficiency of all these compounds is also comparable with that of standard molecule ethidium bromide. So this work provides basic understanding about the electronic properties of phenanthridine derivatives, and its spectral properties can be extended to NAR region. This is the crust of the problem. That is, when you are having this NAR region, so the emission at NAR region is very useful, and we want to get the emission at the NAR region. So we are doing it slowly to the NAR region, and this work has been published in Dyes and Pigments in 2016, and I thank my student Dr. Uma Magesh for this piece of work. Thank you.